So your signs basically start with this big board.
Hello everyone, I'm Patrick Jones. I'm running for Will County Sheriff. I'm here with Bernie.
How you doing? I'm Bernie with Distinct Vision Solutions. We own a print shop and we're here to print anything political, and we're printing all the campaign stuff for him.
Let's go sit down and talk.
Let's go talk a little bit.
What you like about this business, what you don't like about business.
I mean, obviously everyone's gonna say they love the money, right?
Oh,
when the money comes in and it's busy, it's great, right?
Right.
What I don't like about it, the slow times, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a struggle, right? You gotta pay the electric, you gotta pay the mortgage, you gotta pay the bills, you gotta pay, right? So that's the part that sucks. And then what also sucks is now everybody and their mama is doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, you have competition next door.
Man, it was like a big ass war. It was
Really?
like chains, knives, and everything, people fighting, and I was just like, wow, we're kids, so we ran up there to go look. And then one guy pulls a gun out, man, and he blows this dude's brains out. And then this is the first time I ever seen that. It was like the dude pulled it out and the brains just like, I was like, wow. From that day, it was just a life changing. You know what I'm saying? Then the gang started showing up. It was crazy. Yeah, it was wild, man.
So when all that was going on in your environment, how were the police towards your community?
The police were bad, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. Growing up, it was all about the police, right? Because like, they would just pull you over and stop you for nothing.
Same
you were
thing,
Hispanic,
man.
you know what I'm saying? So what's making you want to run for sheriff, and what are you gonna do to change what's going on right now?
It's funny that you asked that. So my name is Patrick Jones. I'm here with Bernie. As you all know, I'm running for Will County Sheriff, and I use Bernie for my science making t-shirt for my campaign. Bernie, first of all, I want to thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. Let's talk about where you grew up at and how did you get started in this business?
So I grew up in Aurora, Illinois, back in the 80s, 90s. And then the way I started this business, I lost my job and I had to figure out what to do for money, but I didn't want to go work for the man. I didn't want to go and be bossed around and told, you ain't doing it right, you know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go start my own thing. I had the support of my wife, Gina, and she was like, you know, you got 1 year to see if you can make it happen. If not, you gotta go get a job. And I was like, I'll make it happen, you know what I'm saying? I always make it happen. So then I went and bought some moon jumps, about 8 of them, and then started telling friends, family, hey, I just bought these things, you know, let me know if anybody needs to rent one or borrow, you know. And everybody, every weekend, hey, I need a rental. Hey, I need a rental. Hey, I need a rental. Man, it just blew up.
Wow.
You know, and then when I started buying tables, chairs, started having rentals, tables and chairs, moon jumps. Like a lady had asked me for the moon jumps, and she said, I have a party of 10. I need some t-shirts. Do you guys make t-shirts? Oh yeah, we make t-shirts. And one day I was just like, how do you make t-shirts? Because I didn't know how to do it. Went to Google, YouTube, how do you make t-shirts? So I found a guy in a video that said, hey, go to Walmart, get a little pack of 10, put it into your regular little printer, and then print it, then you can iron it on with an iron. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll try that. I gave it to a lady, white shirts. She loved it. She was amazed. She was like, wow, these are great. Okay, cool. Next thing, she referred me to 2, 3 people. And then they loved it. They referred me to 10 people, 4 people, 5, whatever it was. And it just kept growing like a pyramid. Boom. And next thing you know, I'm like, we're onto something. You know what I'm saying? Let me go learn how to make it. So I went to YouTube. How do you make shirts? Learned about screen print, vinyl, plotters, sticker. I seen everything. So then I was like, okay, we're gonna start doing the vinyl. We started doing more shirts. Next thing you know, I sold all of my moon jumps and started from there.
And you started going into printing?
Into printing. I bought a small plotter like the one over there. It was a 24-inch, and I would cut vinyl, weed it all out, press it on the shirt. And then from there, I said, you know what? Instead of me going and financing something else, I want to wait till I save some money. I want to go buy the next machine. Then I went and buy the next machine. The next thing you know, I'm here.
Wow, that's very interesting.
And I learned it all, no college, no nothing, YouTube.
Just all YouTube.
All
That's
YouTube.
the new encyclopedia. I always tell everybody that.
Yep.
What did you think when your wife told you you had 1 year?
I was like,
that's very interesting. That's a strong woman.
Yeah.
Because
I was just like, that's not fair. Why did you give me 1 year? It's going to take longer. But she's like, well, you got 1 year to show me that it's possible. Because if not, you got to go get a job. You got to support the kids. You got to support me. You got to support yourself. We got to pay bills.
Right.
And that drove me, you know, to just keep on going and just, you know what I'm saying, I can't let her down. That's my wife. Her and the kids are the most important thing in my life, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, and it's like I just kept going. I'm here now. we're not going to stop here. We're going to keep growing and going and going. You know what I'm saying? But we got to wait for the economy to go back to normal.
I understand. I remember you were over in Ottawa on the street, and
Yeah,
I was
on
using.
Crowley. Yep.
Yep, you got your own business here. How many employees do you have working with you?
One full-time employee, then I have a volunteer that comes in and helps with the embroidery.
They're
here or
just
there.
volunteers?
Just a volunteer that comes in and help because it's a stay-at-home mom. She
Oh,
likes
okay.
to, you know what I'm saying? She wants to just come out. She don't want to be at home. So
Right,
she
right.
comes in and kind of help.
Oh, that's
So,
interesting.
they come and help, yeah.
You know, when you said you lost your job, that kind of reminds me of my life experience. I used to
Yeah.
work for Montgomery Ward's back in the day.
Man, that's old school right
Old school, yes. And I remember they ended up going bankrupt.
there. Yeah.
But at the time I was working for Montgomery Wards, I had put in an application with the Will County Sheriff Office
Yeah.
to be a correctional officer. And thank God, it almost when they went out of business, I would say I was out of work for maybe a month and a half, 2 months, then the county called me. So that was a blessing. What was your thought process when your wife said, hey, you have 1 year, your game plan, I should say, of how you were going to be successful? How did you get your business out? How did you use social media? Did you use mail out?
So
Or what?
what I ended up doing was because social media, I think it was around that time, it was okay. You know what I'm saying? People were on, I think they had MySpace and stuff like that.
I remember
Yeah,
MySpace.
MySpace.
Oh, man.
What was that guy's name? Tom or something? What the hell was that guy?
Right. It's,
So-
it's enough now. I don't think anyone uses it.
Yeah, so
but
then I had that for a little bit. Then so all I basically did was, since I grew up in Aurora, I knew a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's a long story. In Aurora, it's like I went to East Aurora High School, Waldo Junior High, and I knew everybody. And then we would just run the streets and just go out and all that stuff. So what I did was I went back to my roots over here, and I was just like, hey, I got these moon jumps. I got, I need to rent them out. If you need to rent them out, I'll give them to you for the low. You know what I'm saying? I'll give them to you for cheap.
But how did you get it out? Did you just using social media or just word of mouth?
I just basically called people, hey, I got
really?
these moon jumps. And then I would post, because it had a little bit of Facebook, and I'd post it here, I got these moon jumps, and post it on the thing. I'd blow them up in the front yard. You know what I'm saying? The neighbors would be upset because I have all these moon jumps in the yard.
Right.
And I'd post them, and then, hey, I need to rent that one. I want the tropical one. Hey, I want the princess one. My daughter's birthday. Okay, cool. I'll come drop it off. It was the fastest and easiest money I have ever made. You know
Really?
what I'm saying? Yeah, because somebody calls and say, hey, let me get that $150, $200 rental, right? 4 hours, you get $150. 8 hours, I would never leave overnight because overnight it would create mold inside from the dew, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then that's how the kids were getting sick.
Oh, okay,
So
got
we
you.
would make sure ours would never get that and then clean them all up.
Okay.
But I would post them up and 15 minutes setup and 15 minutes takedown. And it was even better that when you go pick it up, everyone still wants to party. Say, come get some tacos, go get a burger, get a beer. So I'm sitting there partying with these people, don't even know half the people. And then some of them I do, and I'm hanging out. And then I got the wife calling, hey, when are you gonna be home? You went to go pick that up 2 hours ago. So I'm just like, but yeah, so it was like easiest money you could make, 15-minute setup and a 15-minute takedown, 30 minutes.
Wow.
The worst part was driving it to the location.
Right. And what type of vehicle would you use? Would you trailer it in?
So
Would you pick up?
at first, I had a small car, and I would just be like, "What am I going to do with this?" So I had a Grand Prix, or Grand or whatever, and I was telling my wife, I was like, "I want to just throw it on top of the car and just strap it down from the doors." And then she was like, "No, you got to go get a truck." So then she supported me with that too. So we went to the dealership and found the cheapest truck. It was just a two-wheel drive pickup truck, bare bones. You know what I'm saying? And took that and then just loaded them all in the back.
Wow.
So
How many did you start with?
I started with 8, and I stayed at 8. You know what I'm saying? It grew so fast, and I started buying tables and chairs, and then from there is like that's when I started this shirt stuff. Then I started just turning it over to the decorating part. Started doing this, and then sold everything.
So what made you not stay with that business and get into this business?
What happened is that Aurora and Joliet, the east side Joliet, everybody wanted to do the moon jumps.
saw
Everybody
you
started getting into it after that.
oversaturated.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes.
And then you'd have, talking about $75 all weekend. I mean, I'm not doing it for $75 bucks. You're crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather sit at home and do nothing. So, but then that's what kind of pushed me away from it. But also the lady that asked me for those shirts kind of pushed me into this, gave me another idea.
Right.
So I've always had a hustler's mentality. Like, what can I go do to make more money? What can I go do to this? You know what I'm saying? And I taught myself through YouTube, whatever, and it's just from there.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. What is your output as far as signages? I know you get busy around the election time?
I mean, now that we got this machine, we can probably possibly push out 1,000, 1,200 signs in a 8-hour day.
Wow.
Maybe somewhere down, maybe 9-hour day. But it's a pretty fast machine. Before we used to do everything by hand. You know what I'm saying? Now we have the machine kind of help us out. But
computer program, and then you just pretty much put the image you want?
Yep, so I create everything on Adobe Illustrator, and then from there we convert it and throw it into the RIP software, and it rips it into there, and then just from there it just goes. It's just crazy how technology is.
And you learned all the self-taught off of YouTube?
So yeah, because I was supposed to get training on this machine, but because we had an electrical issue where there wasn't the correct power, we can't train you until you get power. So I finally got the power at the end of the training, at the last day, the 5th day. And then they were like, well, all we can teach you is how to turn,
Oh,
you have to call back. So guess what I did? I just started pushing buttons.
And just
boom,
saying,
boom.
this
Okay, that
hours.
does that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that does that. Boom, and then.
How long have you been in business now, Bernie?
So I started the moon jump business in 2011, and we kept that going till about 2015, 2014, around there. Then I started with doing the little plotter. So actually decorating for people, because I had a clothing brand or two. So I started pushing a bunch of designs, selling them, go to pop-up shops and all that stuff. I was doing good with that too. But around 2016, 17, we started the actual decorating business and started actually, so we've only really been in this business for like maybe 9, 8 years, 9 years, somewhere around there.
Tell me what you like about this business, what you don't like about business.
I mean, obviously everyone's gonna say they love the money, right?
Oh,
when the money comes in and it's busy, it's great, right? What I don't like about it, the slow times, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a struggle, right? You gotta pay the electric, you gotta pay the mortgage, you gotta pay the bill, you gotta pay, right? So that's the part that sucks. And then what also sucks is now everybody and their mama is doing it. Everybody.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, you have competition next door.
And I just had somebody come in the other day, I'm not going to mention names, but they were like, I have a friend of mine who's looking for signs, political signs. And they got a quote from somebody for so damn cheap. And I'm like, damn, it's a union print shop. How they doing it for that cheap? They're not making no money. And they kind of asked me to can you be in the same spot? I'm like, I don't think I can. You know, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody thinks they can do the same job or as good. But when you go to their shop, they're not the ones doing it. They're sourcing it all out.
And they just putting their union stick
and then they're just putting a sticker on there. Or they're finding a union print shop and having them do it and saying they're union, but they're not union.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That's why you try to buy local, guys, and use union shops.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
You
help support the small business in the area in Will County.
We are faster than everybody else.
Yeah.
Like I just had somebody else come to me from downtown Joliet. They've supported me for a minute, and they also use another print shop in Joliet. And they were like, I gave this other guy this job that I gave you for these banners. It's been 3 weeks and we still don't have it. I gave you the job, you had it done in an hour and a half or two. And I could not believe that. And I was like, because we're fast, you know what I'm saying? We get it done. We don't play games. We're not going over here looking at this. We're just, you place the order, you pay for the order, we get it done. So the way I built the business was, because I know how I am. If I'm gonna go buy something, I want it right now. If I had to wait 5 days, 7, 10 days, I don't want it no more.
It's been times that, don't mean to cut you off, but there's been times I needed stuff like the next day and you get right on it.
So we built it to be a one-stop, same-day service if needed, right? Same-day service, but there's a fee for that. Sometimes I don't charge a fee because it's just like I just love doing it and we knock it out fast.
Yeah.
And then the guy shows up with the banners 3 weeks later. Oh, I see you got them done already. Yeah. Bernie did them at Distinct Vision Solutions in the same day, within a couple hours.
So speed, efficiency, and great
and the
product.
quality is great too.
Yes,
We don't skip out on the quality.
Okay.
But like if somebody says we want it this cheap, okay, you're gonna get what you pay for. You want cheap, I'm gonna give you the cheapest quality, you know. But we don't like to print cheap because
Your name
that's
is
my name on it.
Absolutely.
Right? So if I lower my quality, you know, it makes me look bad.
Do you think your children will ever take this business over and run it for you?
I don't know if they'll ever take it over. I have talked with them and told them, what do you guys want to do? What's in your future? What do you want to do when you grow up? You know what I'm saying? When you get older. And they tell me, we don't know. My son, he thought he wanted to be an architect since he was like 3 years old.
Okay.
But then he hasn't mentioned that in a while. My daughter dances. I don't want to push my business or my dreams.
Right.
And I don't want my kids to follow my dreams. I want my kids to follow their dreams. And whatever they feel like that's what they want to chase, I want to support them 110%.
Right.
And then if I don't have anybody that wants to take over the business in the family, we sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's just like my youngest son. I'm a police officer, the sergeant with the sheriff's office. His uncle is a sergeant with Joliet Police.
Yeah.
And he has another uncle in the state police. And he has a cousin who's state police.
Yeah.
So, and
It's
he,
in the family.
yeah, but he wants to be an engineer. And I'm totally fine with that. You know, that's your dream, go for it. Tell me a little bit about this guitar. When I came in, I was looking at that.
So this guitar, Joliet, I forgot what year it was. A few years back, they had this thing where they got a bunch of local artists involved, and they created this guitar, and they had around 13 or 14 guitars that they put in front of a bunch of different businesses.
Really?
And it was a contest to see who could create the best looking guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's name is Rennie Rodriguez. I got his stuff over there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a local graffiti artist or just an artist, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he created this design. It's the Vicente Fernandez guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And people went and had to vote on it. We went to the Rialto when it was time to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And people voted on it and all that stuff. And then they had an auction.
Mm-hmm.
So it went up for auction at the same time. That thing won first place. And I said, I gotta get my hands on it. So me and Caesar were like, I want it. And Caesar was like, I want it. I was like, dude, don't even bid on it because you're not gonna outbid me. I want to just go to the top, you know what I'm saying? And I just kept bidding. I was like, higher, higher. And then they kept saying, and finally, they just stopped. And I was like, man, inside of my heart, I was pounding. I was like, man, this is my first time doing this, you know? And then the guy came up to me after I won it. He was like, man, be honest, man. How high are you gonna go for this thing? I was like, dude, I have no budget. I was just gonna till I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want it. It's first place. It's the first time
it speaks to you.
Yeah. It's the first time Joliet ever did this. The guitar won first place. You know, it's from the heritage. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot. You know. So I said I gotta have it. But you know, realistically, I'm glad he stopped. When he stopped, you know, I was like, man, it's kind of high. You know what I'm saying?
You'd have got home, your wife would have been like, are you crazy?
Yeah. And the first thing I told my wife is like, when I get there, I say, hey, I'm bidding on this guitar. What's my limit? And she gave me a limit. She's like, 5,000 max. Do not go past that.
Okay.
And I was like, what if it goes
That's the boss.
to 10,000? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm willing to spend 10 grand on it. Plus, it's going to a good cause, right? It's going to a good cause. So at the end of the day, who cares about the money? It's just I want that guitar.
I got a piece of art in my house that I paid a little bit for, and the same thing. It just kept speaking to me. It's like I gotta have this, you know. So yeah, that was interesting. Did you met the guy who painted it?
Yeah, I met him, took a photo with him, and then
awesome.
now I built a relationship with him where, like, if I do need stuff done, art, I contact him. He'll design the stuff, or if I have clients who need art done. Or like graffiti or airbrushing on walls, I'll just give him the job. Like, hey, go ahead. So right now he's working on something where he's trying to see, I forgot what it's a program to try to come work with us, because it's like, he messed up one of his legs or something, but it's a long story. You'd probably have to talk to him about it. I don't know his whole story on that, but we're trying to get him in here.
To work or
to kind of
just
work to help us, you know what I'm saying? Because like he's a really good graffiti artist.
Yeah, I
you
see
know,
that.
And I kind of want the side of the building over there in the front, I want to put like a whole wrap around the side of the building. So I want people to pull over, stop, and want to get out and take a photo with my building. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a cool ass design.
That'd be awesome.
You know how they used to have the wings and people would get out?
Yeah.
But I want something more, something better, the better design where people do want to get out and be like, man, I want to take a photo with that. You know?
I want to ask you a little bit about your upbringing. You say you grew up in Aurora.
Grew up in Aurora, yes.
Mom and dad at home?
Mom and dad were always home, but no, not. They were always working. They were home. Both of them were there. You know what I'm saying? But they were always working. So we were always just like, where are we gonna eat? What are we gonna do?
Right.
So parents, you know, sometimes they make it home early. Sometimes they'd be out working. And then you know how it was back in the day.
No, yeah.
Go play outside.
Yeah.
There ain't no phones.
It wasn't a computer.
So
that's what I tell my children. You didn't have a game. You didn't have a cell phone. If it was that big brick, you know, that you would carry around.
Yeah. I used to have one of those, man. One with a whole little baggage.
Right,
you pull it
right,
out. So, you know. But yeah, we used to just run the streets because they were like, don't come home till lights turn on.
Yeah,
What
I
the fuck
remember
you
that.
mean? I
Oh
want to
man.
come home and no, get outside and go. You know what I'm saying? Go do something. So then we just go hang out with the neighborhood kids, and it was crazy, man. Because growing up was like, there was we used to like the beatbox and breakdancing, the boom boxes, the cardboard.
Yes.
And then we were basically sitting there one day, and we heard this commotion, and everybody said breakdance. They got pissed because the dude he was doing a backflip and he accidentally hit the dude.
Oh.
They got pissed, and then they were like, "We meet me at the Osco or the Jew over here." And it was on Ohio and Galena. Man, it was like a big ass war. It was like chains, knives, and everything. People fighting, and I was just like, "Wow, we're kids." So we ran up there to go look. And this one guy pulls a gun out, man, and he blows this dude's brains out. And then this is the first time I ever seen that. It was like the dude pulled it out, and the brains just like. I was like, "Wow!" From that day. It was just a life changing. You know what I'm saying, then the gang started showing. It was great. Yeah, it was wild, man.
Similar situation.
Yeah.
Growing up, saw my first murder when I was 11, so I know what that feels like, and I still have that image in my head. Coming from that adverse environment, what did you do to stay out of that atmosphere?
Well, you couldn't really stay out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're going to school.
It's there.
And then it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't join the gang, you're the ops now. You know what I'm saying? The minute they say, "Hey, we're going over here," the minute you don't do that, oh, they're calling you names or whatever. And then everybody at school laughing at you.
Right.
You know, so guess what? What are you gonna do? You got to follow the crowd, right? You go into high school and it's even worse now. You know, that's how bad the gangs were over there. They were running each other over. Hey, you gonna join the gang? No, then you're fighting in the hallways.
Wow.
You know, getting suspended, getting expelled. You know, I remember one day we were, me and my brother and everybody, we were driving down, I think it was 5th Street, and man, we heard something hit my window. It was a brick. Somebody tried to brick me through the window. It hit the window, like the little column part, and I was just like, boom. So I hit the brakes. We were in a Ford Taurus, and I told my brother and everybody in the car, I was like, "Everybody get out." We get out the car. Man, they came out deep. I'm telling you, they came out deep, man.
You're like,
they came out like there was about 10 of them. There was only 3 of us, right? There was about 10 of them. They came out with bats and all these. Like, I was back in the car.
Let's go.
So it was wild, man. You know what I'm saying? It was wild.
Right.
I was just like, why did they break us? You know what I'm saying?
That's just how it was growing up. And how many brothers and sisters?
I have a total of 4 brothers, no sisters. There's 5 of us. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So my mom always wanted a girl, never got one. You know
Same thing. It was 4 boys. 1 passed away. God bless the dead. And my mother wanted a girl, but she got all boys.
Yeah.
And you have 1 of each, right?
Well, I got 2 boys, 2 girls. So I had my son, my oldest son. Then I had a daughter. Then I had my oldest, and then my next son, and my next daughter.
Okay. So when all that was going on in your environment, how were the police towards your community?
The police were bad, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. Growing up, it was all about the police, right? Because like they would just pull you over and stop you for nothing.
Same
you
thing,
were Hispanic,
man.
you know what I'm
Same
saying? Then they slam you on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing nothing. Oh yeah, we seen you over here. You're running with this gang and running with that, and dude, I ain't do nothing. And then so I was always taught, keep your mouth shut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In me, I would never, ever think about snitching. You know what I'm saying? To tell on anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because that right there is going to get you killed. So that's what they would always try to do. They'd hum you up, throw you, hit you.
What was your relationship with them? What did you think about the police?
I didn't have a good relationship with the police at that time. So we didn't want to deal with them. So if you were a cop, you were not. But now it's like, you see it a whole different way, because that was what I was taught, right? That's what I was taught. That's how I grew up, right? We grew up with all the homies and friends, and then that's how they taught you. As you get older, you get smarter, right? And you see, and don't get me wrong, there's some bad cops out there.
Yes.
There's some really good cops that are doing their actual job and trying to serve and protect and do the right thing. But there is some straight bad cops out there, man. Even till this day, I've been pulled over. I haven't been pulled over in a while, but still to this day in Aurora, like I've been pulled over by whatever, and then what you got in the car? You still got those bad cops. They want to put something on you just because, A lot of people did not like the police, right, in our area. There was some good cops, some bad cops. There was a lot more bad cops due to the fact that we grew up in the 90s. Aurora was the murder capital. I believe it was 96, 95, somewhere around there, one of those years. So everybody was a target. Everybody was a gang member. So when the cops came to talk to you, they always assumed you had something on you.
Right.
What's in the car? And I used to get pulled over all the time. Never had anything. They would take me out the car, put me on the ground in cuffs, check my whole trunk, check my whole car, nothing. Then they throw me back in the car. The next day, get pulled over again. Different officer. you know. So not too many people really enjoyed the police out there at that time because it was a, like I said, murder capital was it was crazy. Like there was so many gangs, people were dying left and right. Like I forgot how many murders there was that year, but it was a lot.
Oh wow! So the relationship as far as community with the police, it was
They didn't have
non-existent.
nothing. Yeah,
It was just we
non-existent, nothing.
stop you.
If you seen a police officer, you run. Because
Okay.
that's the first instinct you had because they're gonna plant something on me, you
Right.
know. And it's like in order for you to fix that, you got to have someone in office that and that's why everybody has to go out and vote, right?
Right.
Because if you don't,
Right.
you never get heard.
Right.
So you got to have someone who actually has lived that life, seen that life. Because if you have someone who's in charge that's never seen it, they're gonna let their officers do whatever they want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're
Right.
gonna, and then when it comes down to it, the kid that got pulled over and thrown out the car
Right.
is telling the truth. Officer can say he's lying, but guess what? The officer's always right.
Right.
And
Right.
because whoever's in charge, yeah, they're gonna back up their officer.
Right.
So you kind of like want to have, like back in the day, it would have been nice to have somebody who was in charge who was actually grew up in a situation like that.
That's the way I grew up.
Yeah.
Pretty much same thing. Police will come through the neighborhood and harass us
Yep.
for nothing. You know, if we were doing something, it was totally appropriate, but we didn't do anything. And my first interaction with the police was negative. That made me want to be a police officer. You know, so I said if God ever gave me the opportunity to become a police officer, I wouldn't police the community in such a way. Be more community relations, be more community orientated, going into the community and talking to the people and seeing what problems can I help them out with. And it's just not all, arrest. If I could put the proper institutions into place, whether it's helping somebody out with a drug problem, helping somebody out with domestic situations, putting those right institutions into place in the neighborhoods, that'll be better for everybody in the community, even me, because that may be my neighbor or your neighbor. If you was to vote for a sheriff, what are some of the things that you look for in the individual?
The first thing we want to do is make sure that because you know how it goes with politics. Everyone always tells you and says people lie to get what they want, right?
I hear you.
So the first thing we try to do is try to see who the person really is.
Correct.
Where they grow up at, how did they get here? You know what I'm saying? Are they just jumping in because they have a spot because they know somebody that can get them in? You know what I'm saying? Is this person someone's puppet and is going to do what they say once they get elected?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you basically got to do first is do your homework and go see who the people really are.
Right.
You know? But that's how I see things when I try to go vote. I want to see who the person really is.
Right.
So then I try to go around and see when they have fundraisers and stuff like that. Go see them. Then they have the internet, so you can go search everybody.
That's what I tell you. Anybody can be vetted off of Google search.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can tell what they did within their career. You just punch a name into the search engine, and someone put their department or office that they work for, and it tell you majority of what they done in their career.
Yeah.
Also, you have the power of FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, and you can FOIA anything that person has done within their office or police department.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know a lot of great people. Friends with a lot of police officers.
Yes,
you
yes,
know?
yeah.
And when I was young, it was bad to speak to a police officer. It was bad to even know one, because then you'd be the bad guy.
Right. And now you're sitting here doing a podcast with me.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
So that is.
Yeah.
I got another question. Did your parents see you make it and be successful?
What do you mean?
Are your parents still alive?
Oh yeah, they're still alive. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So they saw all this. They saw
seen
how you
everything.
worked
They've
your
seen
way
everything,
up.
Yes, they've been supportive the whole time. They're proud of me. You know what I'm saying? So what's making you want to run for sheriff, and what are you going to do to change what's going on right now?
It's funny that you asked that. So what's making me want to run for sheriff is I grew up in those type of environment that you speak of, where the police come through and it wasn't true community service. It was like get against the car, smack you around sometimes, and you just asking a question, hey, what did I do? And then the resources that I want to bring. So we have the jail, right, where we have detainees at. I went and toured DuPage County Jail, and I did a tour of that jail to learn about some of the programs that they have there. Some people don't agree with me on this, but I believe idle hands is a devil workshop, as my mother says. If you put criminals with criminals, they become better criminals,
Yes,
so to speak.
exactly. Yep.
I went around, I toured their jail, which is a Republican-ran facility. They have small engine repair. They have welding. Now, the welding is done virtually. It's not actually somebody with a torch. They have where you can get your sanitation license. You can become a painter. They're putting things into place to place these people back into the environment with a trade, a skill to go work, instead of becoming a better criminal, committing crimes in our area. We should be going to some of these community meetings, finding out what is going on in the community, talking to them, what is your problem? How can I help you out? You know, and just being more open and more transparent to the public. If something happens, don't try to hide it. Be upfront, do a proper investigation, and say, hey, there'll be more information subject to change or subject to come, or it may change, but we will keep you informed. We as police officers, we get our power from the community. Point blank, full stop, period. If they started to lose trust in us, it's over with.
Yeah,
you
all
know?
day long.
All day long. So that's some of the things that I would like to do for the community and for the jail. There has been 60 attacks documented within a 2 years period of time. Now, I worked in the jail for 8 years. That's unheard of. That's why I said idle hands is the devil's workshop. Give them something to do instead of attacking the people that work there, you know. Now, that'll be alarming to any administrator. Say, hey, what's going on down here? Let's try to get them help that they need to take care of that. And like I say, that helps the entire community, you know, and that's what some of the things I want to do.
Yeah, because I feel like right now that's not happening.
No.
It's not.
No, it's not. So that's why we need a change, and that's why I'm running.
Yeah.
The incumbent is stepping down, but he's bagging somebody. He's supporting another person that works for the office that's in his administration.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, like a puppet, right?
Right,
so
right.
Who's going to vote for him, right? Is it going to be voting for him because this guy that knows everybody that's stepping down saying put him in charge? Why? Because whenever I need something, he's going to do what I say, right? So that's this puppet, right?
Right,
so we don't want someone like that in office.
No,
we don't.
You need a change. You need to change, or you get the same thing and it's over and over again. My journey through in this course, I've been with the office for 24 years. It has been both exciting and sometimes depressing. Growing up in an adverse community with what I would say bad policing, like yourself, seeing the vision that I have for this office, I think I can make it better. I would like to put things in place like a corrections academy. I believe we have the people that work for our office. I've worked with these people and they're amazing. A police academy. You know, same thing. We got people directly in our training division that are very intelligent, and they train sometimes 200 and something odd people a year. We're starting that, we can alleviate some of the taxpayers paying our salary and for our squad cars. We can take up some of that cost, because now instead of an office that takes money from the taxpayers, we can generate some of that. So that would be very sufficient and help the taxpayer not pay all of our salary, so to speak. Within a year of me being in, I would like to start all of that.
Well, we'd like to see you do that, man.
Yes,
you
sir.
Make it
Yes,
happen,
sir.
You know?
Yes,
you gotta
sir.
Get to them,
Yes,
you know?
sir.
So what are your plans then to get to that? What are your plans? What are you going to do?
I love interacting. You won't be the first person I interact. Small business, you know, telling them my plans and letting them ask me questions. I've been going on several speaking events. If somebody wants to get in front of me, all they got to do is go to Patrick Jones for Will County Sheriff on my social media page. Send me an inbox. I'll come out and talk to them. I don't care if it's one person. I don't care if it's 110 people, whatever. And just start telling them, you know, this is what I'm doing. And ask me questions. I've met with politicians. I met with your regular mom next door, mom and pop next door. I met with grandmas. I'm willing to meet with anybody and tell them and let them ask me anything. I'll be going on a radio station. I'll be doing a couple more of these podcasts. I'm an open book. And like I always say, I am not a politician. If I say something and I do not do it, or call me out on it.
Because that's what always happens.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Everyone's always talking about that.
100%.
Like, oh, he said he was going to do this and he never did it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said he was going to do that and never did that. You know?
Call me out of it and let me be able to give you an explanation. And we should hold all our elected officials accountable.
Yeah.
If they say they're going to, hey, you said you were going to do this, why didn't you? And if they come up with a valid point and say, hey, I got a lot of pushback on this, I couldn't do it, didn't have the funding, then so be it. you know?
Yeah, it's just
But-
it's hard though. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like everyone that's done it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everybody. The community sees it as they're all just a bunch of liars.
Right,
You know?
I agree.
So until
Mm-hmm.
we actually get someone who is going to be honest, then that's the only way you're going to change it, right?
Right.
Because I feel like the community right now, that's all they see is liars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, like I've seen it too. People promise you this, promise you that, and it's just all broken promises.
It doesn't come through.
It doesn't nothing.
Another thing I want to do with the office is diversity. I am the only African American in command.
Oh wow.
In command, and I on the patrol side.
Okay.
We have a computer-based training that teaches us that diversity is good, but we don't even adhere to our own training. So you put the right people in place, and I'm not just saying just because they're black we put them in place, or just because they're Hispanic we put them in place. You put the right people in place during the testing process, and that helps us combat a lot of stuff in the community.
Yeah.
For instance, me being on assistant team lead on the crisis negotiating team, you know what it's like to grow up to be Latino, right? So you would talk to somebody if they were in a crisis. You would say, "Hey, I've been through," just like you told me, "I've been through a rough neighborhood. I've grew up in that type of environment. You don't have to live this way." So your words will reach that person in the community more than mine would, because I can't relate to that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I think that's very important. I look at some other police departments in the Will County area. They got to get like compatible to our size, well diverse departments. I want to try to get us the same way. You know, you got to get elected. You got to go out here.
You got to win.
You got to win, and you got to, and people have to come out and vote.
Yeah, they have to.
They have to. So
if you're gonna just sit at home, that's not doing nothing. If you want change, you have to get out.
You have to
vote, and you have to. You know, you got to be part of it.
And I think that's the biggest problem, right? You got to give people something to come out and vote for.
Yeah.
And some people say, "Hey, my vote does not matter. Every vote matters." You know, because it pretty much tells us, "Hey,
we've seen in the past all these local elections, people winning by 50, 30, and then people are saying my vote don't count.
It counts.
If you would have came out and voted, and the other 30 people came out, it would have been the opposite way.
Right.
You know,
Right.
You have to know that your vote does count.
Right. Right.
So if you're gonna just sit at home, don't cry about it later. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. I hear you. You were over there on Ottawa and
Another one, Crowley.
Crowley.
Yeah.
You moved over here. How does this community affect your business? And how do you like being
I've only
over
been
here?
here since we bought the building in February, but we've been here after whatever for since May 5th, 10th, somewhere under. And we have seen some pretty interesting things, you know, it's not the greatest area, even though we're by the hospital, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they got crackheads and stuff like that. They need the help to get off of the drugs, right?
Right.
And they got them right here at this little motel, whatever, I forgot, the Fenton Motel. Fenton Motel. And it's just crazy. Like, you know, we need people, someone in the office, whatever. We need someone that can help us with that, because I feel like that's stopping other people from coming to our business.
Okay, I got you.
Because they're like, "Oh man, you're over there by Fenton Motel. I'm not going over there."
Right.
My wife doesn't even like having the kids come over here.
Right.
Because of that. You know,
Oh, I understand, yes.
But it's just like my son, he's like, "I don't care about that." You know what I'm saying? I see worse on Instagram or Snapchat, you know? But it's just crazy. I feel like that's a problem. It's a problem out here.
How do you think the police can help that out?
Trying to figure out how to fix that. Because I feel like they don't do nothing. They just go over there and question them.
Okay.
And I feel like they don't do anything about it.
Okay.
They just say, "Okay, go about your day." And then the person goes back to the same thing. There's no, "Hey, we got something, you can take this class or take this and it can help you."
Right.
Get you better. There's no change. You know? But there's nobody out there that's going to do that, right?
Right.
Or can you guys do anything about that or no?
You can. So what'll come along, usually you first you start with the actual hotel.
Yeah.
You tell them, "Hey, this is what we got going on." You start screening your customers better. Then if that doesn't work, you can actually say, "Hey, you start putting if there's narcotics coming over there, you can put a narcotics team on it."
Yeah.
And then you'll get those people incarcerated and arrest them, you know. How do you like this area, with that being said?
Don't get me wrong. I like the area.
Okay.
I like the area. We're by the hospital. There's a couple other businesses that we know down the street over here. we're on the west side. Don't have to worry about the bridges. You know what I'm saying? Before it was a pain with the bridges, but I like the area. The area is nice. The only thing is that you do got your
Good thing.
bad peeps, little peeps here and there. Have they really messed with us? No, they haven't really affected us. Except some people are like, oh man, you're over there by this place. Because it's nice. So, you know what I'm saying? We have our own little parking lot in the back.
Yeah.
No one's really back there. I can leave my car unlocked and it's fine. But would I leave it unlocked? No. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because you have people that do walk. I don't know why they walk from the motel through the lodge, and then they come around the fence into the back. Yeah, they try to, it's a little shortcut. Instead of taking the actual street, they're going through people's yards, you know what I'm saying?
But see, that's why it's important that we, as police officers, come out and talk to the community.
Yeah.
Would never known that if I didn't talk to you. See what I'm saying? So that'll be on our radar. You can address that.
Yeah.
You know, or send it to the appropriate municipality to address. How many hours you put in a day?
When I first started, it was a 25-hour day. Like, it was non-stop, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there was no time for anything. Like, you can ask my wife. She, you know.
So you basically just lived here?
I lived, like, well, not here. So I started the business out of my house. So I taught myself everything. So, boom, whatever. But when I got into actually this, I'd get in here at 5 a.m. in the morning. I wouldn't leave till 7, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. There was even days that I'd be like, you know what? I'm not going to eat for 48 hours. I'd fast because I didn't want to distract myself. And I'd come to work at 5 a.m. I wouldn't get home till like midnight. Then I'd fucking go eat, come right back to work. You know, with no sleep, no nothing. I would just come, nonstop.
Wow.
And then my wife was like, that's bad for you.
You got to get rest.
We got to hustle. We got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Because like if we don't get these orders out, guess what? These people are going to go over here. I don't want them to go over there. I want them to be with us. I want them to come here. I want them to know that they can trust us, that they can know that their job's going to be done.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But now we got to the point where there's people out there, they don't want to pay. They're just like, you're too high. I'm like, what do you mean I'm too high? I feel like I'm priced right. But other people are doing it cheap because it's just so saturated now. So like, what do we do as a business? Do we continue to go where we've been going, or do we just change gears and try to figure something else out, you know?
Right.
All right, now you can just go ahead and grab this and pull it on out.
Right. Wow, look at that. You know what, Bernie, I really appreciate you doing this with me, man.
No, thank you, man.
It's been a blast. I'm learning more about you. I always liked you from the first time I met you.
Yeah, thank you.
And till the next time.
And good luck, man, on this campaign, man. Hopefully you can make it. We need you to win. We need a new change.
Thank you. Remember to put God first and chase every dream until it's reality.